So at last we meet Charles and your friendly neighborhood bodyguard Claude, who looks like a very deflated version of Scott Steiner. So, let's talk to you.
I had some more questions, Charles.
I'm listening.
Right, foremost and foremost, what is Cocky? Who is Cocky?
Do you recognize the call sign Cocky?
Would be strange if I didn't, since I was the one who coined it. It belongs to a fellow named Jimmy Cochran. He was a coward, really. The nickname is somewhat of a bad joke.
Perfect. Thanks.
Right, so now we know who he is. We can cross that off. Jimmy Cochran. Tell me a bit about him.
Tell me about Jimmy Cochran. Is he still alive?
In a literal sense. He's been held in a mental institution for years.
Oh dear.
Let me guess. Since 81?
Either 82 or 83. I'm fairly certain it was early 83.
Do you remember the name of the institution?
Something starting with an E. Emerson, Everton, or similar.
Ingstrom? Ingstrom Psychiatric Hospital?
Yes, that's the one. You know the place, Kathy.
You don't need to know about that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I've passed the building a few times in the city. So, do you know why Jimmy ended up in there?
Some obsessive-compulsive syndrome. He became fixated with circles and started hurting himself, trying to scratch the circles out of his head.
Creepy. I wonder what set him off. I think I'll check the place out tomorrow. Too late to head back to the city now.
Is it? Oh. Okay, tell me a bit about Lily Myers.
You bought a number of paintings by Lily Myers.
Or her
Why?
paintings.
I'm known to dabble in art from time to time. Martha, my wife at the time, was enamored with the paintings. I believe she first saw them at the high school which the Myers girl attended. Anyway, after the poor girl killed herself, I bought the paintings speculatively. When a young artist with any talent to speak of commits suicide, it can be a wet dream of certain connoisseurs. Shortly after procuring the art, I had it valued by an expert who determined that the value was 3 times the amount I bought it for. Today, I'm sure I would have made my money back tenfold or more if it wasn't for the art theft.
What art theft?
There was a burglary at the mansion I used to own here in town. It was all over the local news at the time.
Well, shit.
Eloquently put.
Thank you. I am good with my words. Right, so Lily's art was stolen. Yeah. I'm not sure quite what she's gonna say, but boom.
Can you tell me about the art theft?
That.
Well, somebody broke in, stole the paintings, and got out.
You know, that's kind of how a theft goes, really.
The strangest thing was that I had a Monet, a Rembrandt, and 2 paintings by Picasso, untouched. But every single painting by an unknown local artist, gone.
That can't be a coincidence.
Agreed.
Weird.
Somebody wanted those paintings badly.
I assume there was an investigation.
Yes, Sheriff Truman came by with his deputy a few hours later, but they didn't have much luck. They found a few hairs, which turned out to be from Ruffles, the family dog.
Some stunning police work right there.
Indeed. There was a single witness, though, who said he could make out multiple burglars leaving the scene of the crime, but nothing more than that.
So, I take it the case was closed?
Yes. I honestly didn't care much one way or the other, given the fact that my most expensive pieces were safe and sound.
I think I'll have a chat with the sheriff about the matter, if that's okay with you.
Certainly. I'll call ahead and instruct him to give you everything you need.
That'd be great. Thanks, Charles.
Anytime. But I'm curious, what's your interest in the paintings?
I've learned that my grandfather went to Sue and asked to see them, right before he had his injury.
Is that so? Strange.
I won't lie, this has turned into be a little strange. Right, ask him about the church.
What can you tell me about the Church of the Holy Trinity?
They seem like any other church to me. But then again, I'm not their usual clientele. Weddings, baptisms, and funerals are just about what I can muster. And I always leave early.
Fair enough. I am curious, what happened in 81?
Do you know anything about what happened to my grandfather in 81?
I wish I did, Kathy. You must know I did everything in my power to help. How do you think Mary Elizabeth could afford all that expensive treatment? MRIs, neurologists, say what you will about Joseph. But he was never rich.
Strange. Grandma never mentioned that to me.
She's just too proud. At first she refused. She was convinced that I had an agenda, that there were strings attached.
And were there?
Don't be silly. Despite all that had happened, I still loved Joseph dearly. I wanted to help. People from places like this have a deeply rooted mistrust in the rich, passed on for generations. In her eyes, I had become one of them.
So that's all you know about the whole affair?
Are you implying that there's more to know? I left the diagnosis to the professionals. Mrs. Rain accepted the health care, but asked me to stay out of everything else. So I did.
I see. What can you tell me about your friendship with Grandpa?
Joseph was the best friend I ever had. We grew up together, married our high school sweethearts together, went to war together. I can't even begin to count the number of times he's saved my life. I repaid the favor once or twice, but he came up ahead, no doubt.
So when did you two lose touch? I heard that something happened between you and him. What was it?
The truth is, Brian Rain happened. Sharon Evans happened.
My parents?
Yes. They ruined everything with their vile, destructive behavior. I couldn't have that around my daughter or my newborn grandson. Joseph was naive. He believed that anyone could be helped, that anyone could be reasoned with, given a chance. He was just too good, bless him. He should have been harder on Brian, more strict.
Alright, so it's because of my parents, it's because they stopped being friends. Okay, so I'm a bit of piggy in the middle then. Agree with him about tough love, tell him Grandpa is not to be blamed, or say nothing. I'll agree with the tough love.
I wouldn't mind teaching my old man some manners myself, wherever he is.
Yes, of course. You must understand this better than anyone. People like your father simply cannot grasp how far their bad influence spreads. So our families started drifting apart. Eventually, my company grew much too large for this little town, and we moved on. Not long after that, your grandfather ended up in that wheelchair. That marked the end of our friendship, for obvious reasons.
No, they ain't that obvious to me, actually. But anyway, tell me about the Red Man, if you know anything, which you probably don't, and I'll make myself look a fool, but I will anyway.
I don't need to ask him about that.
So, right. Have we got anything else to show him? I'll show him the stored picture.
Charles?
Fireflies would be my best guess.
Fireflies?
They can grow terribly large around
Really?
these parts.
Really? Fireflies? Really? Firefly? Pff, fuck off. Fireflies, my ass. Do you know what this key unlocks?
Do you know what this key opens?
You must be truly desperate if you ask random people a question like that.
Yeah. Oh, so you're not going to give me an answer, you're just going to tell me that I'm desperate. Well, I am. I am desperate for the key to unlock something good, and then I get all the loot inside. Okay, show him the photo.
Do you recognize this, Charles?
Of course. Your grandfather, me, Jimmy Cochran, taken shortly before we went to the war.
Oh, so that
you guys
is
look like
Cocky
you just
in
won
there.
the lottery or something.
Indeed.
Good to know.
We were mere children, with no concept of what we were getting into.
Right, okay. I've got nothing else I need to show him, have I? What is that? No, botany book on the plant. Let's show him that.
Do you know what this is?
A flower. Why don't you consult a botanist instead of bothering me with this nonsense?
You're very bloody rude, you know. You know, just saying that. Right, so talking to him was actually a complete waste of time. We've got nothing else. I don't need to use the stun gun now because we did stun Goober. Stun. So I'm happy for a bit. I think that's all. Bye-bye, Mr. Wade. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Charles. That's all I need for now.
You're welcome, Kathy. Come back anytime.
Right, so what is in here? Gramophone, painting, Claude, Charles Wade, phone. Okay. I'm gonna be back, Charles. I'm gonna be back, but I'm going to the sheriff's office. If she'll let me. Yes. Right. Back to the sheriff's office because I want to ask him about Charles Wade when he had some stuff stolen. Oh, I see Goober's gone. I hope we didn't hurt him too much. Who am I kidding? We totally did. Right, let's go. Right, yeah, I think I'll bypass on speaking to Lenny. Bye! I'll speak straight to the sheriff. Let's speak to him.
Hello, Sheriff. Mind if I ask you a few more questions?
If you must.
Yeah, I still don't like you. Right, tell me about Lily's Mars art that was stolen from Mr. Wade.
Do you know anything about the art theft in the Wade estate?
Yes, Mr. Wade phoned ahead about that. Lenny!
Yes, boss.
Get the report from the burglary in the Wade estate back in '86?
On it, boss. There you go, Kathy.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Right. Let's look at that. 3rd of the 11th, 86. There was an alarm in the Wade estate was triggered. The house was empty at the time. And the neighbours contacted law enforcement. Officers arrived on the scene. Several broken windows can be observed. A sweep of the estate and surrounding premises reveal no trace of the perpetrators. A single witness identified as Franklin Goldfarb. Franklin Goldfart reports seeing multiple burglars leaving the scene of the crime. Charles Wade arrives in Colorado Springs to make an official statement. After examining the house, he reports that paintings with an excess value of $15,000 or whatever have been stolen. The art in question has not popped up yet in any circles that are known to deal with stolen goods, terminating investigation due to lack of leads. Okie dokie.
I gotta find this Goldfarb guy. Maybe he knows more about the burglary.
If you please. Right, I'm going to use your phone, laddie. Hope you don't mind. Don't care if you do.
It's Lenny's phone. Might be useful.
Don't look at it. Use it.
Hey, do you mind if I use this phone here?
Sorry, that's not allowed.
Well, screw you, buddy. Fine, I'll go home and use my phone. And when I say home, I mean my grandma's home. Use her phone. So I won't have to pay for it. Booyah! Meow. Boof.